And I remember we were just talking in just a retail store, just chilling. And his story's dope. He knows his pictures with like mad celebrities, which is super cool. He's just a genuinely nice person. He's from Baltimore too, so he's got the whole Baltimore accent thing going on. He's just a nice guy. And all the projects he's working on, I feel like the stuff he's going through is very similar to the stuff I'm going through, just basically finding your way through work and then doing projects that care with people that you care about. So everyone, please give it up from Baltimore, in Boston, for the very first time ever. Give it up for Akio Evans.
All right, so I'm gonna get into it. I'm from East Baltimore. I'm a designer, filmmaker, teacher, artist, entrepreneur. I wear many hats. I work at Johns Hopkins University. I work here. I'm a cage washer. Now, that profession is me actually scraping cages all day, like feces, everything you can name, nasty. The debris is inside these cages, and we wear protective gear. A typical day in the life of cage wash, I think I already explained that. But the moment I decided I wanted out my 9 to 5, how I even got the job at Hopkins, I gotta explain that first. I have a history, I have a past, and they kind of brushed past my background. This photo right here, this is when I was in Australia. And Australia, if you do not know, Chris Brown and Snoop Dogg, they can't go to Australia. You know why? Because they have a criminal record. I have a criminal record, but guess where I'm at? I'm in Australia. I'm like, how did I get here?
I remember I was on a plane and they had asked me well, I got this sheet of paper and this paper had said, have you been convicted of a crime? Check boxes, yes or no.
I said, you know, I'm acting like I got jet lag.
And I said, you know what? If I check outside the box, like in a little shaded area, maybe I could play it off like I got jet lag or something. So that's what I did.
I checked the outside box. I didn't even check yes or no.
When we landed, I arrived at the airport, and to my knowledge, to what I've guessed, customs had stopped me.
So I get to the terminal and they said, hey, Mike, come over here, Mike.
And they pulled me to the side. He said, hey, we, see your visa, we see your record.
Right, because I used to make licenses, I used to make checks.
When I was like 21, 22, out there, I had a warrant in Phoenix, Arizona. I had a warrant in Baltimore, Maryland, which led me to be on a run to Phoenix. I had to guess fast of what explanation I can give this person. And I said that I'm here to donate my artwork. I said I customize sneakers and I do clothes. I'm here to donate my artwork to Australia. And I'm also going to Sydney, Australia to film a wedding.
Again, man, I'm just here to film a wedding and donate to the homeless.
So I must have left a good impression on this gentleman because he was kind enough to give me my passport and tell me,
oh, you know what, you seem like a good guy. Enjoy, Mike.
I'm scratching my head like, what in the world just happened? I'm walking through outside to board the plane, and I was like, is this real? And I was just thinking of all these thoughts like, wow, I'm not supposed to be here. And I think right when I landed, I think that's when the news had broke out that Gene Wilder had passed away. So, I said, you know what, I'm gonna make some Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, those custom Converses. So I wound up making those. At sightseeing, I went to this alley that was geared towards the homeless.
Right here, this is Hosea Lane.
I'm walking through and I'm seeing like the homeless. I'm seeing signs that said, do not pass the homeless.
They got a picture right there, if this picture was wider, that you can't pass the homeless.
In that moment, I was like, wow.
That's why I'm looking like that, because I'm like, I used to be homeless.
When I was in Phoenix, Arizona, I was homeless.
And I said, I'm gonna donate to the people out there who are homeless. And I wound up doing that.
I don't know how I wound up connecting with the youth projects who actually serve coffee in that alley. But they said, hey, if you're willing, you can donate the shoes that you've made and the proceeds can go to the homeless. Because the whole alley is geared towards helping the homeless. After I made the Gene Wilder shoes, I was sharing that. I was in a mall, Melbourne, Australia, and I met this designer, Koki Sally, the owner of Beekeeper Parade. He loved the Gene Wilder Converse chucks that I made, and he was like, hey man, would you like to collab? His bags is like the clothing that goes to the waste landfill in Cambodia, he upcycles the material and make bags from the material, and he sells the bags, and the proceeds, some of the proceeds go to kids who wouldn't necessarily get an education in Cambodia. So when he seen that I did the Gene Wilder custom sneakers, and I also donated them to youth projects, and he said, hey, you know what, hey, this can go along the lines of you know, what you've been doing for what you've done for youth projects. You know, what do you say? Let's collab, and that's what I wound up doing. So all these things happening. I'm in Australia. I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying myself, and of course, my trip has to come to an end. And the last day that I had to spend in Australia, I got emotional. I got really emotional because it was emotional for me because I hadn't had an opportunity when my mother passed in 2012. I hadn't had the opportunity to really grieve. What I mean by that is I only had 2 days off. I had to go straight to work right after. And when I went to Australia, I also took my mother's locks with me. My mother had long locks, like gold locks. And I went to the 12 Apostles, which is one of the places that people visit out there. And I remember tying her locks on a branch, and I also buried her locks inside the sand at that resort, at that place. And, you know, I felt like the vacation that my mother wanted to give my family prior to her passing, because she promised she wanted all of my family to get all us the experience to go on vacation, but she never got a chance to. And I felt like those 30 days was finally the vacation that she wanted me to have. And I cried, man, because I felt like going back, it was like me going back to a machine, a rat race that's not gonna stop. Because I had 30 days to reset. I had 30 days to get my mind at a space where I felt like I was free. And now I'm going back. So that's when I wanted out my 9 to 5. From me, you know, making the mistakes that I made in my life. At an early age, I was homeless due to the stuff I kept on doing and not doing what was right. It was just an incredible experience, a state of reflection, the reflecting back on, and I was forced to look back at what I went through, and it was some sense of healing as well. But all in all, that was when I wanted out my 9 to 5, and I'm just grateful to be able to tell that story. I told the story in Boston, November 12th. Thank you, Moonlighters. Joel, thank you for having me, and thank you for all who had showed up at my first speaking engagement. I'm sure it's gonna be many more to come, and that's my story. I hope you guys learned anything from this, some lessons that I've learned. I'm grateful that I can now be able to share this with you. I hope that if you can take anything from this, just know that miracles do happen. And, you know, in a time and the pain that we go through these things for the purpose of being strong and being better for others. So thank you for your time. I hope you guys, this message resonates with anyone who needs it. And just know that, you know, if you're going through a storm, you're either going through a storm, you're in the storm, you're coming out of a storm. But just know that it ain't gonna last, baby. All right? So this is Akio Evans. That's my story. You'll be seeing more stories like this to come. So salute.